So it's been 13 long years, ladies and gentlemen, since the first Avatar film was released. 13 years. Where does the time go? It feels like it's just disappearing at this rate. But I don't think I'm alone in saying this, right? When the film first originally released, everybody loved it. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was raving about it until they watched it a couple more times and they started to realize it was nothing more than a boring film with a predictable story that just so happened to have top-level CGI. For me, right, and I just came up with this analogy today, it's almost like matching with the perfect person on a dating app. The one, 10 out of 10. You're talking for a few days, the anticipation is building up, you can't wait to show them off to your family and friends, and then the date happens, and they talk, and talk, and talk, and for about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours, you start to realize they've said nothing intelligent or remotely interesting. Boring. That's Avatar 1 for me. I might be alone in saying that, but for me it's terrible. So now obviously, as everybody is aware, they have released a sequel, Avatar 2, The Way of Water. It sounds so compelling, so interesting. I can't wait to go see it myself. I'm not going to see it. I just don't know why we can't leave things in the past, right? Why can't we just leave them there? Seems like money just talks and bullshit walks at this rate. They spent millions making this film nonetheless. One of the most expensive films in Hollywood history, by the way. They spent millions on the marketing so people actually remembered Avatar was a thing and not just something Instagram allows you to create. Tie that all in together. This film still sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Coincidentally, that's in water. In the opening weekend, they generated $134 million. Now that does sound a lot, right? It sounds a lot for an opening weekend. But how much does this film have to make for them to break even? I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up with any number. According to reports, they would have to make $2 billion to break even. So that means they would have to make more than the original Avatar film. Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Titanic, and even Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'll tell you now, in today's climate, that is not happening. So this film is gonna flop. Let's be honest, judging by its track record and its competitors, it will flop. It will sink to the bottom of the ocean. Don't throw an armband, don't throw a life jacket, just let it sink. So it can really find out the true meaning of The Way of Water. But when people like me, and I'm sure you as well, see a director like James Cameron, our reaction is just, we don't care. Because James Cameron embodies the message of getting rid of masculinity. He finds it toxic. We're the evil on the planet. In an interview he's recently done, he came out and said that testosterone is a toxin that men should work out of their system. Yeah, okay, you're entitled to that opinion, my friend, but I'm just gonna say this, right? When war eventually breaks out, you're gonna wish there was some evil, toxic testosterone on the front line, because boys today are being brought up in such a feminine way that before the commander, the sergeant, can even say charge, they are running off into the hills, into the sunset with a TikTok video saying, oh, I can't do my work. This is what people want. And not only that, James Cameron has come out and said himself that Avatar 2 is one of the most empowering films he has ever made. And when you see why, it's absolutely ridiculous. James Cameron said that having a pregnant warrior is last bastion of empowering women. Everybody's talking about female empowerment, Cameron said. But what is such a big part of women's life that we as men don't experience? And I thought, well, if you're really going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who's 6 months pregnant in battle. Now, I don't know if you're watching, James, right? If you are, listen to me. If you're not, this is for everybody else. I don't know if anybody's told this man, but to have a pregnant woman, 6 months pregnant, on the battlefield, right, makes no strategic sense whatsoever. It would make more sense for people to want to protect that woman and their child, right? That would make more sense. Oh no, because protecting that woman and that child would involve some masculinity. And as we all know, James Cameron doesn't like that very much. So that's what you get. So as a man who is obviously out there to please the woke agenda, the left, get rid of masculinity, etc., etc., even with all of that, they have betrayed him. They now want to boycott his film. James, I don't know if you know this, well, you don't, but you can never please those people. No matter what you do, there will always be something that is apparently politically Incorrect. This is absolutely hilarious. Avatar 2 is being called out for cultural appropriation and white savior complex. The Avatar 2 The Way of Water director, 68, is accused of stealing themes, history, and imagery from Native American and indigenous cultures for his latest blockbuster, reported Newsweek. So yes, even James Cameron now has had the buzzwords thrown at him. Cultural appropriation and apparently white savior complex. Now, normally I would defend these things, right? I would get on here and defend the people that are being accused of these things, but James Cameron doesn't like men, obviously. So why would I use my masculine energy that is full of testosterone to defend you? Why would I do that? It makes no sense, right? Do not watch Avatar The Way of Water, tweeted B Gay. I think that's a typo. I think it's meant to be Ben Gay, who is also the co-chair of Indigenous Pride LA. Join natives and other indigenous groups around the world in boycotting this horrible and racist film. Ben Gay also said that indigenous cultures were appropriated in a harmful manner to satisfy a white man's savior complex. You know, I don't even think this is about cultural appropriation or white man savior complex, etc., because that doesn't even really make sense to me in the first place. Because if you're going to say that, does that mean you're just going to reject a man saving you in public based on the color of his skin? If it's a white man, no, I don't want to be saved by you. That's white man savior complex. I just think, right, it could be any film these days, any film. And if there's a white man leading the charge, trying to save everybody, then it's white man savior complex. Sorry, James, even you're not safe. But James Cameron, being a woke director himself, should know all of this, right? He should know all of this. He should have seen this coming. He should have all the notes on how to please and offend people, right? But even he couldn't fit or meet the criteria. And as I said, normally people would jump to defend somebody in your position, but not this time, because you've disrespected every single man on the planet. And I know you're probably hoping somebody out there will come and defend you. Please, somebody. No, you've made your bed and I think you should lie in it. But this is the future of Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, where nothing, absolutely nothing is right and everything is offensive. Welcome to the new world. It's actually just clicked to me, right? I actually think this whole bubble we're living in, this echo chamber, will soon burst. I think it's coming to an end, right? Because the pendulum swings in life, right? It's the universal laws, and right now it's so far on the left side, it's going to swing back twice as hard into normality. And I don't think these people are ready for it. Even these entities, directors, they are not ready for it, and it's going to affect them. And I truly do think they will regret it. So James Cameron, I hope you enjoy this current boycotting situation. I do feel bad for you. You know, you shouldn't have done what you did in that film. So offensive. Enjoy. But ladies and gentlemen, what is your opinions on this situation? What is your opinions on this whole boycotting situation? Have you seen the new Avatar film? Is it any good? I would like to know. I'm not going to see it, but I would just like to know if you actually did put some effort in this time. But if you have enjoyed today's video as well, then please, for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that big red subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Please, for me, make sure to always have a great day and stay safe. I'm out. Peace. See you next time.